Hey everyone, we're starting a few minutes late here, but thanks for showing up to today's Hangout, which is like a special edition Hangout for me. And we're going to be talking about the newest marketing trend in the experts industry. I'm your host, Lisa Ingalls. I'm an evolutionary entrepreneur, a consultant, a mentor, and an awakener. I work with people who are waking up and changing the world through my program, the Awakened Leaders Program. And you can find out more about me and my programs and services over at www.innerstatecoaching.com. And I know we're starting a couple minutes late, but oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited about this topic. And it's just, if I'm excited, I'm also passionate about it. But here's the thing. In the last 5 years, there's been this huge boom, this enormous boom in the experts industry. There have been a lot of those, you guys know who they are, you've seen them, you've probably taken programs from them, we might call them gurus out there, and they've actually done a lot of good work in the world. I have to say, they've done a lot to inspire people to take action and to turn what they love into becoming an expert at it. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, this is the sort of the shadow side of it, is people have been sold on the idea that the experts industry is extremely lucrative. Here's, from my perspective, what I've heard over the years is like, okay, you can be an expert because you're good at something and you're probably better at something than someone else, so that makes you an expert. And guess what? When you are the expert, you get to set your hours, and it's like, ooh, that sounds really good. And guess what? You also get to charge premium prices because you're the expert. So while all of that is totally true, it's only a partial truth, right? I see so many struggling experts out there, super highly qualified people who are frustrated, they're at a loss, and honestly, I see a lot of really desperate experts trying to make a good living doing what they love. And the problem is that there's this old and outdated marketing paradigm that's being used in the experts industry, right? So it's this paradigm that has predominated our industry, but the truth is that this marketing model, this traditional marketing model, fundamentally conflicts with the core values of many experts, of who we really are. I know they conflict with me, and there's this emerging group of experts who are waking up to the fact that we need to change the way that we're marketing ourselves. And this is something, I'm speaking about this totally from my own personal struggles. About a year and a half ago, I was like, this is all freaking BS. I'm going to draw a line in the sand. I'm sick of this. A lot of you who are here have probably watched me in some of my journey, if you're in Google Plus land, and know that I was sick of trying to do all of the social media and email marketing and feeling fire hosed with everything. And I finally said, you know what? I am at the core of who I am. And my core gifts as a coach, as a mentor, are to connect and communicate. And maybe if I just get back to doing that and doing that really authentically, something will change. And so that's just, I just wanted to set the stage for you, because the woman that is my guest today, who's Tara Butler Flock, I'll be bringing her on in just a moment. Her and I connected through another mutual friend. And we got to talking, and we're talking about exactly this thing that I'm bringing up, which is like the paradigm is changing. We are looking for a change, and there's a whole group of these amazing experts out there who do not resonate anymore with these traditional marketing paradigms. And Tara has been working for a very, very long time as a coach and a mentor. If you read the description, you can read everything about her. I just want you to know, I'll give you a little bit about her, but she's an amazing woman who's been doing a lot of work with high-level coaches, helping people to really launch their businesses and grow their businesses from their heart. And I know you probably have heard a lot out there by some of the experts who's like, oh, follow your heart and, you know, authentic sales. But I'm telling you, what we're going to be talking about today is totally different. Tara has helped hundreds of clients to launch from the corporate world into entrepreneurship, to transform and grow existing businesses, and to create meaningful and passionate six-figure businesses. She's the creator of the Courageous Entrepreneurial Leap Six-Figure Speaker Series and, can I get this all out in one breath? The Entrepreneurial Edge Coaching Program. So, Tara, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. And I'm just so passionate about this. I mean, Lisa and I have had many impassioned discussions about this, and even last night we were together with some other colleagues, and you know, we just can't wait to be talking to all of you about this today because it's a trend. We're seeing it. We're getting at that point now that we're starting to see some real shift, and it's so exciting, and we're really excited to be part of that shift, and I hope that you are too.
Yeah, and I want to do a little call out to some amazing colleagues who are here. Tara, you're a little bit new to the Google Plus world, I know, but we have some superstars in and of themselves here. We have Andy Lyons here, we have Dave Williams, we have Carrie Roldan, we have Susan Anderson, we have Pamela Zeman, we have Missy J. I know I might be missing some of you guys, but I'm seeing who's commenting here. And I want to thank you guys all for showing up live. Your voices are so important in this conversation to us. We want to hear what are your thoughts on the paradigm shift in terms of marketing. We have our thoughts. We're going to be sharing them with you, more of in a discussion style today, I think, Tara, than an interview, because we have so much to talk about in a short period of time, I think. But so anyways, you guys, leave your comments. Let us know what you think. And we're going to just hop in here. And let's start, Tara, from this. Let's just go back to a few years ago. Like I said, 5 years ago, the experts industry was sort of just like, it wasn't even there. It didn't seem like there was anything there for coaches, really. And I followed some really awesome people. I think like Brendan Burchard was one of the key people that I followed, and I thought he was great, and he did a lot, actually, for the experts industry in helping people to realize, how do I package what I have as an expert? But let's talk about sort of the shadow side, because I think that that's I think that there's something that needs to be revealed. I don't think that there's lies out there. I just think that there's partial truths out there. So I'm going to just have that as our opening, and I'm going to turn the stage over to you, girlfriend.
Sure. All right. Well, first of all, we're not here to disparage, the gurus that are out there. I mean, I think like Brendan is a really good example of somebody who has a lot of knowledge, a lot of great content to give. And what's interesting about it, though, is that it is a certain dimension. And what we're starting to see, and what I'm excited about being part of, is bringing in multi-dimensions. Because a lot of the gurus will say, if you do this, just like I tell you, you'll get these results. And the reality is that if you don't have that personality makeup, you won't get those results. There are certain people that are meant to be on a stage in front of 300 people that can inspire, that can, and they have their role. I mean, thank goodness. I mean, some of those experts inspired me to expand my business and stretch me outside my comfort zone. That is awesome. And the reality is, especially for coaches, because coaches are a different breed, we are about truth. We're about getting the truth out of each person. We're not about do what I say. Here's how to do it, do what I say. And not that, sometimes that's really appropriate. How do I do a Facebook ad? Boom, boom, boom. I mean, there are different ways to do a Facebook ad, but there's a certain expertise that falls more in alignment with that. But when it comes to coaching, it's really about how do I grab the essence from the individual and really help put together a business for them that really resonates. And I've worked with people that have literally been in tears because their guru coach told them, you have to do it this way, and they're in tears because it doesn't feel resonant and it doesn't feel right, and they're so conflicted, and they've been told by some people that they're resisting their leadership and just do what I say you should do. And I believe that anytime there's a line, there's a difference between when we're in a place of fear and we need to step outside of our comfort zone, and when our gut is telling us this is not the right way.
Mm-hmm.
When we do things that are not in alignment with our gut and with our heart, we're not going to get results. We might get, dribbles, but, and I've made this mistake too. I've listened to, I had a guru coach who said, do it my way, and I said, I really don't want to. She said, you're resisting my leadership, you're paying me big money, do it my way. And I rolled out a program where one person signed up. In fact, that one person said, I signed up despite the way you sold this because I know you.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I just totally did this launch with somebody else's voice. And somebody, of course nobody signed up because it wasn't congruent and it wasn't attractive. And my energy around it was out of alignment. Mm-hmm. And so this new, basically this new emergence, people like Lisa and me, are realizing that there isn't just one way to do anything, and really that there's many ways to do things, and our job is to help our clients determine what that one way for them is and to honor that so that they can go out in the world with authenticity and with heart and really truly attract the people they're meant to attract. Because if they're not authentic and they're doing something different, those people will not find them.
Right, it's true. And I'm going to bring us back and give a trajectory to just what you were speaking to. So first off, let's back up and look at this thing called the experts industry. And who gets funneled into the experts industry? Coaches get funneled into the experts industry. And while coaches are experts, I sort of think of experts as sometimes as like you said, the Facebook ad expert, the how to write a book expert. And there's a difference between an expert and a coach. And what you spoke to, which is that coaches want to connect people to the truth.
Yeah.
So there we have that one thing, right? This is how I'm seeing it, is you have the coaches and you have the experts, and unfortunately they've been clumped into this one industry, and that the current marketing paradigm that's out there for this current industry just clumps coaches into it and never took into consideration that fundamentally there's this entire emerging group of professionals who are coaches and mentors who've been clumped into the experts industry, and the way they operate, like you're saying, doesn't resonate with the old marketing paradigm, which the way I see it, and I'm going to tell you in a minute my struggle story, which is funny now, but wasn't so funny when it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
We get clumped in, and we haven't really come to a new model or a new system of oh shoot, I lost my track of thought. Oh well. Anyways, we haven't. There's this new emerging group, and we need to harness our gifts in sharing. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Is that the old paradigm is all around fear. I mean, everything from traditional marketing is fear-based.
Fear and pain.
Fear and pain. And my belief is that a lot of us who are coaches have done our frickin' work. We've done our work like to no end, to the nth degree. We are continually doing the work. So I'm not motivated anymore by pain and fear, and I acknowledge I have pain and fear, but I see through the bullshit of the pain and fear messaging, and I'm actually more inspired and motivated by possibility and by vision than I am. And this is where I see like what you're doing, Tara, in your work, and what you're doing with something that we'll be talking about with the symposium coming up. That's the shift that's happening.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think, well, and that's the thing is that, I mean, some coaches do deal with pain. They do deal with fear. I mean, we all do to some degree, you know, even if I'm a business coach, but like, you know, I have a client who's a grief coach. There truly is pain there. Like her marketing would be authentic for her to talk about the pain. But there's a way that sort of these gurus, they suck people in, and this is the interesting thing. They suck people in because of the pain, and a lot of us transcend past that. Like, oh, that's the original thing that sucked us in. Like, yes, I'm not making enough money in my business, and I'm suffering from that. And then we get to a certain point, and this is why I think that there is space for all of us. I mean, I really do believe that. And I thank those guru stars because they're actually a great funnel into my business for people who are like, okay, now I want, you know, I've gotten to a certain place in my business. I have an understanding about business now, but now I want to do it in a way that really resonates with me. Mm. And, you know, this is the thing, is that even with a Facebook ad or a book, there's not one way to do anything in business. There are, like, you know, it's like you can do books, 1,000 different ways. And actually, I have different people that I know who help people write books that do it in different ways. There's similarity, there's places where it overlaps. And, you know, I think our jobs as these truth guides is to find the resonance for that person. Here's the range, you know, here are the different things that you could do to attract clients, you know.
Totally. I'm going to pop up some comments as you're talking, because it's totally, we're getting a lot of interaction here with what you're saying. Virginia says, yes, always strive to be in alignment with your heart and passion. Be true to yourself.
Right on.
This is a great one. Carrie Roldan says, oh my God, Tara, I have a similar launch story. Pamela is saying, so true, Tara. I realize each expert was successful because they followed their passion. It's getting back to our own source and finding creative ways that bring us to life. Heidi is saying, we don't need gurus anymore when we find our own authentic way. And I'm going to do one more. These are just flowing through. They're all coming through, Tara. We're getting good comments on this. Dave is saying, yes, the marketing skill set is like a suit of clothes that isn't one size fits all. You need to tailor the techniques to fit your personality.
Ooh, I love that one. Dave, I'm going to borrow that when I talk. I love analogies, and I think it's so true. You know, that you can get clothing, but to make it really fit, you got to tailor it, and to look for what is really authentic to me, and to let go of the ones that don't. You know, I'm a big fan of pushing ourselves outside our comfort zone. It's the only place that, you know, I call it the learning zone. The only place that we're growing is in the learning zone. So we have to, you know, this is what I love about what's happening in our industry right now, because things are shifting and new things are happening. You know, Lisa, what you're teaching about Google Hangouts, I mean, that up until, 2 months ago, like, that was just like a real foreign concept, and you are teaching me about what's possible there, and it's like, ooh, you know, how could I create something that would be great for me in this space? And that's what our jobs are. It's like, and that's the thing, even as coaches, I do believe on some level as coaches we do bring expertise. You know, if I'm a grief coach, I'm going to know about grief. I'm going to know about, you know, the 7 stages of grief, and I'm going to have workbooks and worksheets to help people through that. And at the end of the day, you be with the client and help them with wherever they are, and helping them move through that. And so there is a blend, I believe, with sort of the expert and the coach. But as a coach, we always know that the only advice that anyone should ever take is their own. Or to not take advice. Right. Yeah. The only advice you should take is not to take advice. And to really, you know, to get this information. And I see as a business coach that my job is to share the different possibilities that I'm aware of, and then tap into my client's own wisdom in terms of what resonates for them, and move from there. And, you know, I believe that resistance, as an example, can be either a saboteur or it can be your true self that's coming out. And, you know, I just think this new emergence is really about that. It's really about coming from the heart, coming from a place of consciousness, because a lot of us, even when we started our business, you know, we are getting more conscious all the time, and we want to be more conscious in our business. And you know, as coaches, we want to come from the heart, because what we really want is for people to be who they're really meant to be in the world. That's our job, to help facilitate that.
I love that, and I love that if that is a piece of our marketing, that naturally comes off as authentic. I think that that's another piece for me that has been missing in the traditional marketing model in our industry, is this authentic connection, because there are so many of the formulas and blueprints out there. You started, you know, you talked about it in the very beginning, these formulas and blueprints, and we try to fit ourselves into, and like you said, your launch, you had one person. I did, okay, you guys, and Tara, let me tell you what I did. I wrote an entire book and put it on Kindle, and I followed the formula, right? I followed the whole blueprint formula, and it was so heartbreaking for me, because this was like my guts coming out, and like everything that I truly believed, but I put it into this formula, right? And lo and behold, and it was all around the launch of a program that I was doing, and no one signed up for the program. I got, like, the book flopped in terms of, like, flopped. It's all a learning experience, right? But I'm going to say it flopped in terms of, you know, there weren't really any sales. And if you go to Amazon and look at this book, right now there's more comments about, negative comments about it. I'm trying to get money out of people. And it's a 99-cent book, so I'm like, well, how is it a scam? But the whole book is basically giving really great information, but it's like a long-form sales letter. And I'm just going to be true and say that that's what the formula was. Like, make your book like a long-form sales letter that has great value and information, but in order to get the real nugget of information, now you have to go buy my program, which is what I did. And nobody ever signed up. The program is still sort of now just in the background on hold, and it was real deflating to me, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was a blessing in disguise, too, because trajectories turned. But how many of us are there out there like that, Tara? Because honestly, I see a lot of experts struggling in our industry, and it breaks, people say this, it breaks my heart to see experts struggling. But I work with people that are right here in this room with us right now, who've shared this journey that you and I are talking about. And yeah, it's just time for it to shift, and it is shifting.
Well, and here's the thing too. You know, what that brought up for me, Lisa, is that, you know, we bought into a dream through pain and fear, by the way, but we bought into a dream that, you know, if I can do it, you can do it too. And the reality is that not necessarily. You know, I mean, Brendan Burchard is his own breed of person. I mean, part of why he's so successful is because he's got this dynamic and quirky personality, and he talks, you know, a million miles a minute. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, but he is one of a kind, and he's kind of built, his whole personality is built around being the star, being center stage, and, you know, being a sort of character, you know. And we're not all like that, especially coaches. We most of us, not all, but 80% of us go into this because we love being in conversation with people. We love to see a difference in the world, and we really want to serve. I'll get on stage if it serves that, but I have no interest in being on stage or even in a Google Hangout to be the star of the show. Honestly, it's like you know, it's like I don't need to ever be on camera for my own personal ego. In fact, I prefer not to be. I get to work in my slippers every day and yoga pants and no makeup. That just serves me just fine. But really, the reality is that I do what I do because I'm passionate about making the difference in the world, and I really want to serve. And I'm really passionate about this topic of helping other coaches develop a business model that actually serves what they want, because we buy into the dream of the 7-figure business. You know, you too can have this in 6 months kind of thing. And, you know, I mean, I've been in those programs like, you know, make X, Y, Z in 6 months, and I look around and there's like one person in the group that achieved that goal, you know, and it's because the model didn't fit for those people. It was so, you know, it was like this.
Right.
And so I'm really passionate about finding a business model for coaches, and there's not just one, by the way. I mean, that's the thing, is that there's many different models, but looking for the model that really works for you. It's like, you know, I made more money last year than I did as a corporate VP for the first time. You know, I left the corporate world in 2000, and I literally, all I did last year was work with people one-on-one in a coaching practice.
Yeah, you had.
And you know, I have a group program. We have some group calls, but like my model is very simple. I work with a finite number of people, and I have a lot of fun, and they get a lot of, you know, they love it. I love it. It is a simple business model, and I work 30 hours a week, and you know, I don't have to be on stage if I don't want to be, all that kind of stuff. And it's like that's not everybody's model, but I think that there is this misconception that is being put out there by the gurus that if you want to be successful, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, this is your line of, this is the trajectory that you have to follow. And
yeah.
And I'm going to pull up some more comments because I love what Susan is just basically, you know, edifying what you're saying. I deeply feel that what you see in the coaching field is part of the global movement for all people in all fields to challenge the way things are / have been to what serves and nourishes ourselves and more people. I love that, Susan.
Yummy.
Let's see, we're going to pull up, here's one from Kim Carpenter. Who says, Tara, I love your perspective on this for coaches, and I think that any business owner who cares about being conscious can use the principles of coming from the heart, letting their clients be who they are, authentically connecting. And then I also want to bring up Andy is saying that she liked the little contrast story because it did find me a better way to share my gifts in the world.
Well, I always say this to my clients, you know, life is perfect, but you don't always know it at the time. And when that was going on, for me, this launch, and this is a funny thing, is that before I hired this business coach, I had sold several programs and actually had pretty good, solid results. I mean, I'm very happy with the results. So I was trying to up-level. I was trying, instead of having 25 people in my program, I wanted to have 45. That's the irony. It's like, so I hired this coach. I was spending $1,000 a month because they were going to teach me how to do this. And the way, when I was actually just honoring myself, I just did it the way intuitively I thought it should be done, I had better results. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wow, imagine if I actually found a coach that was aligned with me and who had knowledge but could help me find the right answer for me. You know, and that's, and it just made me realize I need to be that person for other people. That's what I want to be for other people. You know, I believe my life purpose is about helping people remember who they are. And in this world right now, people need to remember who they are because so many people are telling them this is who you need to be. You know, our parents, our friends, our spouse, you know, all these influences that we sometimes lose sight of what is truly here. Mm-hmm. And that's where this next piece is like, I'm really excited that I'm finding, what I love about this too, Lisa and I found each other as I was planning for this symposium because I was looking for people with this philosophy. And there were lots of people, that's an exaggeration. There were several people who wanted to be on the summit that I was just like, you know, no, you know, you're not one of those truth guides. I'm looking for the truth guides.
Yeah.
And, but it was so refreshing and so fun as I've been working on this is finding that, like, oh yeah, this movement is happening. These people are emerging, and as soon as I started to talk about it, they showed up. The other experts, the other partners, and that's part of what I believe about this is that when we step in and honor, like this is who I am, this is what I believe, and we start to emit that then that's when the people show up. And that's why I'm really passionate about helping people authentically create business, authentically attract clients, and in a way that's maybe maybe no coach does it alike. They all have a different.
Yeah, I totally believe that. And I'm going to bring up a question from Missy J, because I think what we're talking about just ties into this, and we may have already answered your question, Missy. She asks both of us, Tara, what do you have to do as an expert to be trusted by the public? And I know my answer for that is just to be who you really are, which is sort of what Tara was just talking about. And for me, I found Hangouts as a way to connect with people, but I think that however you can authentically connect and create real conversations in real time, I like to do face-to-face, because seeing some people face-to-face has an entirely different energetic signature to it than on the phone or webinar or anything like that. Literally, for me, creating trust has been about having conversations, and those conversations turn into connections. And it's the combination, there's all these C's, the combinations of connection and conversation that eventually turns into conversions, if we're speaking in terms of sales and marketing in the long term. So that's my answer to that question. Tara, I'll let you respond.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. And I would also add, I'm a big fan of what I call credibility marketing. And the whole thing with credibility marketing, from my point of view, is that you establish credibility and relatability. Because at the end of the day, people hire you because they think they like you, they know you, they trust you, and they think you have something to add to them. And because, when we're coming from this authentic, heart-centered place, trust is huge, especially for this next generation. The people that have gone through that experience are not as trusting now. They're a little bit more skeptical. So, to Lisa's point, it's like, how do I connect with them? And I'm just a big fan of credibility marketing. That is, writing, blogging, hangouts, things where they can see that you share openly and generously your expertise, not the thinly veiled sales book that leads to the sale, but like really truly give your gift. And then the people that really want to work with you will raise their hand to go further with you. So just for coaches in particular, I'm a big fan of that, because first of all, different than the guru style, like one of the things that we want to do as coaches is build followers that are engaged with us. And we engage them by sharing our expertise openly and generously, so that we earn the right. Because unfortunately, because we're heart-centered and authentic entrepreneurs, we have to earn the right, because we can't sell if it doesn't feel like we've earned that. That's just out of alignment for us. So, I really encourage people to just engage with your audience, and in different ways. Google Hangouts, blogging, a newsletter that has information, free webinars that you might put on, or free talks in your local area if you don't want to do the online thing, and give them an experience of you. And that's what I love about credibility marketing, is that it's not just, here's my expertise. They can feel the essence of me. If you go on my blog and you read the last 10 articles I wrote, you either love me, think, or say, I don't like her at all. And that's okay. I only need a small, this is the great thing, is I only need a small number of people in my practice. And I want to work with the people I can really make the significant difference with. So it's, I'd prefer to have a small following that's really engaged than anything else. So that's, that's the short story long, so to speak.
And I'll add, I feel like I could keep talking about this forever, but one of the things for me in this discussion of how to create the trust is actually about no expectations. I have...
Or agenda.
or agenda. Yeah, they go together, right? The expectations and agenda, like, oh, I have an agenda that I'm going to be authentic in order to get your email, get your email so I can, or get you to sign up. And it's like, when I realized that I was actually, number one, having more fun just connecting with people and having conversations with them. And when I looked back in my calendar, I was looking back and I'm like, holy crap, I'm having like at least 2 conversations a week with people that I don't know, and I'm having no agenda. I don't know if you're going to be a client. I don't know if you're a colleague. I don't know if you're a friend. I don't know why I'm connected. I just want to find out about you and have that authentic connection without an agenda, without an expectation. We might never talk again, or we might never connect again, and that's okay. I'm curious. I want to find out who you are. And that, for me, took a lot of the burden off of what I had been learning in terms of the marketing piece of, put the content out there to, there was an agenda behind why I was putting the content out there. And it's not to say that there's never an agenda.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between intention and an agenda.
Yes, good one.
So intention is really like, I intend by doing this Google Hangout that, I'm going to inspire all of you to be like, hell yeah, this is the way, I want to educate about where the trends are going. And yeah, I would like you to check out my summit and see if it's something that resonates with you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But like, that's my intention. If I had an agenda, it would be like, I want to get all of you to sign up for the thing no matter what. And that's, it's like there's sometimes a fine line between agenda and intention.
Yeah, and then it becomes feeling like that's when feeling like the hard sale. Like, people feel that. Obviously, people feel that. I feel that behind. I think that's why I just at some point was like, ugh, another webinar? Are you kidding me? There's another, whether it's live or automated or video launch summit, because it felt anyways steeped with agenda behind it versus that. So I just saying that I love that differentiation that you just made between intention and agenda, and I think it's right on. And I have to say that the comments are going off the hook, you guys. Thank you so much. It's like, well, first of all, everybody's confirming everything that we're saying, which is awesome, because you guys are part of this movement, and we need you. I mean, we're all here together. We all have a voice in this movement. We don't need to continue doing the things that have been perpetuated that really aren't serving the awakening of human and social potential. And I really value, I'm so grateful for all of you that are here and contributing in live, and I know that there's going to be people in replay watching this as well, but you guys are all rock stars. Let's see, I'm going to pull up a couple more comments. Nancy Ann is saying, yes, Lisa, face-to-face is so important to our humanity and becoming so rare today. That's why I'm loving the possibility of Hangouts. So much easier to maintain a connection that includes a space for coherent field that is present. And I think what Nancy speaks to in that is exactly what's happening right here, right now, Tara, between you and I and all of these live viewers, is that authentic connection and the conversation that's going back and forth, and it's awesome. And
yeah, I mean, one of the things I was thinking about too is that what you were saying earlier about you just liking to be in conversation. I mean, that's 80% of coaches. That is what they say. I want to be in conversation, and it's interesting. I had my last mentor told me that I spent way too much time talking to people, and that I'm wasting a lot of time. I just need to get to the point. Like, as an example with strategic alliances, she's like, yeah, you just say, I want you to promote for me here, here, and here. How big is your list? Here, here. And I'm like, what? That's not the kind of relationship that I want to have with my strategic partners. Like, I'm not interested in a tit-for-tat relationship. I'm interested in actually collaboration and being aligned philosophically and all this stuff. And it's just so interesting because I do think as coaches, like, when we get in conversation, that is actually our strength spot, and that isn't for everybody. You know, if you're if you're a commercial real estate person, that might not be the right approach, right? But for coaches, I actually think that being in conversation inspires people to work with us, and that being generous, you know, when I do my business breakthrough sessions, and I'll be talking about this on the symposium if any of you are tuning in, but, you know, I talk about that there's one of three outcomes. One is I'll say, whatever you're doing right now is fine. One is, I'm not the right person, but I have some recommendations based on what we've talked about. And the third is, oh, we might be a good fit to work together. Let's continue talking, and we'll spend a few more minutes talking about that. And I promise that they'll walk away with value no matter what. And, you know, I ask some questions of people before I meet with them to make sure that it's going to feel worthwhile for me. But that generosity, I mean, I get referrals from people who did breakthrough sessions with me that didn't hire me. And I get, you know, I mean, that's because I'm honoring who they are. I'm not trying to make a sale. I'm looking to make a difference in the world. I am making a difference in the world. And the right divine client hires me without me having to, you know, make the sales spiel. And I just believe that when we honor ourselves and we honor the people that we're in dialogue with, those naturally occur. And I do believe there's some technique and such to bring to those conversations, or to bring to the conversations that you're having on Google Hangouts, that can make that emerge more. So I'm not just saying go hang out and have coffee with people, because that doesn't necessarily get you anywhere. Yeah. But I think honoring that is the thing that we want most. We want most to connect with people and to make a difference, and to make sure that whatever we put together for our business strategy honors whatever it is that we're looking for, and to say no to the things that don't resonate with you, because they probably won't work. Yeah. They might work for Lisa, or they might work for me, but they won't necessarily work for you. It's like if you're not resonant with that. And you know, if you walk away with anything, it's knowing that you probably, and I know most of you have been in business for a long time, that has popped up, because I know some of your names, and you know, it's like, wow, you look back and you think, what worked for me and what didn't? And I bet it's the things that you did that felt, you know, I don't know about this, but I'm going to do it because I said I would, or I committed to doing this, or whatever. And the things that really worked were the ones that we were super excited about, that we knew were going to make a difference, and was aligned with our heart and vision. Yeah,
it's so great. I love this conversation, and you guys, you guys are going to have the opportunity, if you want to hop into the green room with us for a few minutes after we go off air. I will put the link to the green room into our comments, so you can meet Tara, hang out with her for a minute, ask her any questions that you have. Tara is having an amazing symposium that she's hosting called the Client Attraction Video Symposium. And like she said, she's only bringing together a small group of people. Is it 9 experts, Tara?
It's 10. Right? 10 of us. 10.
Yeah. 10 experts. So it's not like one of these huge symposiums where there's, 20 experts that you're talking to. And here's the cool thing, like she said, all of these experts aren't necessarily that guru star, as she's been, the difference between the guru star and the truth guide. She's been very selective in who she's wants to have in the summit, and I happen to be one of those people. I'm really excited to be a part of it and super honored to be a part of it. And Tara, tell us a little bit more about the summit. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. Well, one thing I just want to mention too is that I'm a big fan of Beth Grant's work, and she has. I'm actually getting certified. I'll be certified hopefully by the end of next month. And this is where this language, guru stars, and truth guides come from. So I just want to source, and credit her for all of her great work. And it's one of the things that has ignited me in this next part of my business. And actually, if I hadn't had that experience with the launch, I wouldn't have found Beth's work. It wouldn't have resonated with me the same way. And so I do believe that life is perfect. So I just wanted to say that, a little caveat. So I actually, being almost certified in this program, I actually have an assessment. So I ask questions, and I can tell, as I was talking to the experts, what their archetype was. So I picked people that were truth guides, because 80% of coaches are truth guides, and I work with coaches, so that makes sense. And because I'm a conversational truth guide, I want to be in conversation with other truth guides. That brings the most resonance for me. So I brought together 10 different people. I'm one of the speakers. Lisa's one of the speakers that have a different angle that's like really refreshing. A refreshing look at how to attract clients in an authentic, heart-centered, conscious way. And a lot, some of them are things you might not have much experience with. So I try to also bring sort of a variety. How to attract people, like some of the energetic blocks that we have from attracting the right people is what we start with, and how to do social media in a way that's really authentic and heart-centered, and not, a lot of, I have to say, as a conversational truth guide, it's been typical for me with Facebook, because it doesn't feel like some of the stuff that I see doesn't feel like truly connecting. It feels more like, I don't know. Like, I always feel when I post that it's somehow, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Well,
but
we know what you're talking about. Us here over in Google Plus, we call Facebook the F word. Although, actually, I know there's people here who do use and utilize Facebook very well as well. But I think one of the things that we've loved speaking to that point about Google Plus is the community piece, and the conversations that happen are very, very different here than they are in Facebook. So we know you're speaking to an audience, in other words, who knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so so check it out. The bit.ly link is right there, and it's really about how, some of these topics that you've seen before. It's through this lens of truth guide, heart-centered, authentic, and some of the topics are pretty juicy and new, and I'm really excited. And Kim, who commented earlier, is also one of our speakers as well. Talking about how when you're passionate about a cause, how to use that as a way to authentically attract your divine right client to you. And I'm super excited about that. So check that out. If it resonates with you, we'd love to have you. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I bless you on your journey. And feel free to spread the word. It's free, of course. And all of us are giving away some free gifts that actually, and this is one of the things that I really made sure with this too, because I've done 4 summits. This will be my 4th. Is that the content is you're going to walk away with some things that you really can execute upon. It's not just going to, it will inspire you, but it's not just going to be inspiration. It's actually real, juicy, tangible stuff. And all the free gifts are also that, like, it's not just the gift to get you to opt in. It's like actually something that's like super useful that you can use to improve your business. So I hope you like it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome, you guys. Again, the bit.ly link is, I'll put the bit.ly link into the show description as well as the comments, but you see the bit.ly link under my lower third there as well. And Tara, thank you for holding the space for this amazing conversation. All your insight and wisdom on this is, you're a true truth guide, and you're a leader in all of this, and I just so appreciate you taking the time to come here out of your day today to be with us. Yeah, and
for me, the most juicy thing in the world is to be an interesting conversation with other people. So this is like, I could do this all day long, especially with you. So thank you so much for inviting me and for creating this hangout for us to have this discussion, because I've been looking forward to it for weeks.
Absolutely, you're welcome. And you guys, I already put the link into our comments below the broadcast here for you to join us in the green room. Get to meet Tara for a minute or two. Just say hi to her, ask her any questions that you have. But we're getting right to the top of the hour. I don't want to keep you. So I'm going to say we're leaving for now, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks again for coming. Bye.